I think is the most interesting story going on in global finance and certainly in public companies right now. MicroStrategy has now figured out a new and better way to source money from the bond market and convert that value into Bitcoin. That's the net of it. And what they've done is, they've been issuing convertible notes, and that's a discrete process for each individual convertible note. You draft up the document, the proposal, you send it out to the market, you gauge demand, you set the pricing, you then sell to buyers, and then you collect all that money, and then you close the round, and then you would announce to shareholders all the details that have happened. And it's a process, and it takes weeks or months to do each individual one. And now they came up with this STRK preferred stock offering that is basically a repackaging of a convertible note structure that is perpetual and uncapped in terms of its upside, which are both improvements on prior convertible notes. And it makes it way easier for Strategy to issue new convertible note debt, basically, and then take that money and buy Bitcoin with it. And so they've said that they've created this program to do $21 billion of preferred stock offering, which is really convertible notes packaged as a stock. And side note, they will not stop at 21 billion. That's just them, having some arbitrary and, of course, meaningful number that they chose as a starting round. And so I think that they will absolutely try to raise as much of that as they can, as fast as they can, as fast as the market will absorb, and buy as much Bitcoin as they can. And if, maybe it takes them a year to get through that 21 billion, moving as fast as they can. And then they'll say, okay, great, we're going to double it. And then they'll just keep doing that. So the reason that it's pretty damn appealing and very interesting is that this is it's convertible debt that issues a 8% dividend on a face value of $100 per share for STRK. And then the value of STRK trades on the market. And right now it's trading below $100. So the actual yield of that to holders is, if you buy it now, you're getting better than 8% annual dividend, because it's $8 per share every year that's issued as a dividend. And if it's trading at $80 right now, now you're getting a 10% yield. So you have it's basically debt that pays 10% right now every year in perpetuity until it's exercised or retired. And it includes a call option. So if the stock price of MicroStrategy goes to $1,000 per share, then STRK owners can exercise a call option to convert their STRK into MicroStrategy stock. So it's just upside there, right? Like, you have an opportunity to convert to stock if those conditions are met. But until then, you get paid 10% dividend, which is really like interest expense, but it's repackaged as a dividend here every year. And that's pretty irresistible to the bond market, the fixed income market, and also the convertible note aspect of the bond market. So they have no choice, basically. Like, if you're in fixed income, this new vehicle becomes so appealing that you have to start incorporating it into how you're allocating, I think. And especially if the price trades down at all. So, right now it's effectively a 10% dividend if you buy now. If the price goes down a bit, maybe it's 12, 15% annual dividend. You can't not buy that if you're managing a fixed income portfolio. What buying that amounts to is handing over your bond dollars to Saylor to convert into Bitcoin. So Saylor and Strategy has created this. It's a pump to pump capital out of the bond market and into Bitcoin. And this is just the latest and greatest improvement on that mechanism that MicroStrategy has been for some time, and just keeps getting better at being a pump. And so this is a big upgrade, I think, for MicroStrategy as a pump of capital from the bond market into Bitcoin.
Is this the moment where all of the like dividend hero bros on Twitter are finally like, oh wow, here's a high yield dividend stock. You know what, maybe this whole Bitcoin thing's not so bad. Maybe I'll get myself some STRK. Like, is this what finally brings the dividend bros around?
Maybe. I think that this just broadens the appeal of what MicroStrategy was already doing. Like they were issuing convertible notes. I guess you would call them sort of private placement convertible notes, where you'd have to be a capital allocator on the buy side, I guess, in the debt market to be aware of and have access to their convertible notes in the past. And now anybody can hand over their dollars that they want to get, that they think of as, this is my fixed income allocation, and you're going to hand over those dollars in exchange for STRK shares, which pay this incredible dividend. But Saylor is going to take those dollars and buy Bitcoin. And so it just like greatly expands the portion of the bond market that Saylor now has access to, entice away from holding U.S. Treasuries and other stupid paper, and now attract away to a better bond that has all these incredible benefits, and it happens to be powered by Bitcoin.